What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. Today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I'm going to talk about a few things. There was one thing in particular I wanted to talk about for a few days now, and we'll get to that later. As you see, that's probably like the first thing I'm going to put in the title and the thumbnail. So that is what you all came for. The reason why I didn't record it earlier was because there was just a lot of stuff going on the past couple of days, and some family stuff and friend stuff. Not bad things, just like be particular about it. Birthday celebrations, I had to be there for my family. Family first is always. But now I'm back and I'm so excited to speak about it. First, let's get the news out the way as well. Have to salute Jackson State over there in the SWAC. 5 consecutive SWAC regular season championships. Tomekia Reed's doing an amazing job over there with just like the rotating door of talent. Of course, a few years ago when they went to the NCAA tournament after winning the SWAC tournament, I said that they were the team to watch against LSU, Kim Mulkey's first year at LSU. And they gave LSU a scare in the first round, led by Misha Williams, who went on to become the first HBCU player drafted into the WNBA in 20 years. Shout out to Misha. She's still doing great things over there in Mississippi, running camps and, just giving back to the kids, speaking to the kids, doing charity work, fundraisers. I think the city of Jackson just honored her about a couple weeks ago. So salute to Misha Williams if you're watching this, Misha. You are a legend. You are a legend. You are appreciated, and you are a great mother as well, and a great wife, I assume as well. So shout out to Misha Williams. Shout out to Tomekia Reed. Shout out to Jackson State. Shout out to all the players on Jackson State right now. Shout out to Boiler. Shout out to it's a couple of players over there and stuff like that kind of came through, whether it was transfer portal or just homegrown talent within the state. In Mississippi, there's this list called the Dandy Dozen. I had the pleasure of curating it a couple of years when I was over there. And the Dandy Dozen is pretty much just like supposed to be like the cream of the crop of Mississippi high school basketball. Tomekia Reed hits that list hard every single season. And I remember, I think my last year over there, she got majority of the list. Obviously, someone like a Madison Booker slips through the cracks, slips through our fingers, and becomes one of the best freshmen in all of the country, regardless of conference. But, for the most part, she gets the best players to come out of Mississippi, and she hits the portal hard. I know a couple of years ago they had a big that transferred over from the University of Houston that helped them out a lot. Misha herself was a transfer from Mississippi State. So, she just does a good job of recruiting, and it does a good job with our schemes and putting together all the talent and making it work with the rotations and minutes and things of that nature, and all the if there's any potential drama that tries to come in with the team and stuff like that, she kind of shields it off. And whatever happens, all in all, the ups and downs, rockiness of seasons, she still finds a way to come out on top in the SWAC. So have to salute that. And the exact same thing for Miss Dawn Staley over there, up a couple hours up the road in Columbia, South Carolina, and doing it back-to-back seasons, undefeated regular seasons. It's not anything to sneeze at. Of course, once you get to the level that South Carolina is, if they're approaching that, trying to become that next program after UConn, to do that, the expectation goes from regular season championships, regular season undefeated, conference undefeated, conference tournament undefeated, to undefeated seasons, period, and national championships. And then things just get breaking down to national championships and Final Four appearances second. That's what the standard became at UConn. Shouts out to Joel and Tommy and the other UConn fans for, bringing that to my attention, just how big, and the mentality of the fan base and the program is over there that Gino has created, and CD and stuff over there in stores. But yes, but for now, like I said, it's nothing to sneeze at. Back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. Of course they want to win the championship. Of course I think they want to face Iowa. I think they definitely want to face Iowa again, just to make up for last year. I know it's a whole different group and everything like that. And I think that's also Like I said with Jackson State and Tomekia Reed, that's what makes Dawn Staley this one of her more impressive coaching jobs in recent seasons, is because she's had to start from scratch. Essentially, other than Breezy Hall, there wasn't anybody in this lineup, in this rotation, that was getting consistent minutes. You can argue maybe Raven Johnson, okay? You could argue maybe a little bit Cardoso was getting a few minutes off the bench as Aaliyah Boston's backup last season. That is true as well. And then that's pretty much it. In terms of consistent minutes, I wanted to say I guess Raven Johnson was getting a little more playing time last year, growing into her role and coming back from injury. But yeah, like, that's just kind of the reality of the situation. Nobody, and happy birthday to Raven as well. Hollywood, Westlake legend, Atlanta legend, Georgia legend. But yes, I say all that to say that. Because Dawn Staley was voted, like, she only had like 2 votes from this random poll of like who's the best X's and O's coach in all of college basketball. And I don't know how you can just kind of overlook that. Yeah, granted, Chloe Kitts and Ashlyn Watkins and Breezy Hall, and like all these players in the rotation are 5-star players, 5 and 4-star players, and All-Americans in high school. Granted that, yes. And then the transfers, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting about the transfers and stuff like that they've added to the fold as well. But like, you still have to coach. Like, at some point, like, how many times have we seen 4 and 5-star players, All-American lineups, not pan out because they know how to mix them or they built the wrong team? You know what I mean? So you still have to be able to coach. You still have to be able to find a way to make it work. Because regardless if they're juniors or sophomores, it's their first time playing in actual games. It's different between like practicing and running the plays in practice and then going out there. It's another thing to be able to run it in games and run it as well as South Carolina has. And that brings us to the last South Carolina point before we get into it. Now, I got the pronunciation pulled up to make sure people, because we were saying it wrong. Well, no, I ain't gonna say we. I ain't gonna throw y'all in it. I was saying it wrong all season because I'm hearing it on the broadcast. See, y'all deflected that accountability right there. See, the word of the year is accountability. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working on that myself. But you know, Tahina Papau. I'm so sorry that I've been saying Tihana. I've probably been saying Tihana, but it's Tahina Papau. She's returning for her 5th season over there at South Carolina, so that gives them, you know, just another boost and pretty much kind of keeps the same exact team they had this year, minus Cardoso coming back next season. So South Carolina should be just as or kind of similar to what they were this year. After like losing AB and the freshies last year, and them folks are still playing the way they're playing, I'm done trying to have any doubt about South Carolina and Dawn Staley's groups. Okay, the video that you all have come here for, or the topic in the video that you all have come here for, that was 8 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, was the Caitlin Clark situation. So Caitlin Clark's situation, man, so many directions to go with this. I guess I'll go with the Maya Moore, Jakes from State Farm thing. So Travis Scott shows up to the Iowa game, the final Iowa home game of the regular season. Caitlin Clark's final home game of the regular season in her Iowa career. And, you know, he goes, like he says, to support Caitlin Clark. He walks in, camera follows him. He daps up Jake from State Farm. Sitting right next to Jake from State Farm is Maya Moore. He just walks past her. They ask him, Holly Rowe asks him what he's doing at the game. He says, I'm just a Caitlin Clark fan. Caitlin Clark is one of my friends, and I came to support her and watch her, and I'm a basketball fanatic. That's what he said, right? A lot of basketball fans were upset. How do you not know who Maya Moore is if you say you're a basketball fanatic? And you guys already know how I feel about Maya Moore. If you don't, you can watch some of my other Maya Moore videos. In short, the shortest way I could say it, I'm from Georgia. And the first time I saw Maya Moore play, she was a senior at Collins Hills High School. I was in 6th grade, and she played my high school. I was in 6th grade at the time, so I wasn't at the high school. But it was, you know, I guess the high school in my city. She played them, Marietta, in the Sweet 16. and they had this girl, I believe her name was like Pistol, and I think Pistol right now, she's an actress, and I believe she also does model work. So shout out to Pistol if you're watching this. She was just inducted into the Marietta Hall of Fame, I believe, last year when we had our reunion and stuff like that. So shout out to Pistol. But Pistol and I believe Angel Robinson was also on that team. Angel Robinson had, excuse me, a pretty good career in the WNBA and overseas as a professional basketball player, played for a few teams. You can see my interview with Angel Robinson if you just search Angel Robinson Rashad Milligan on YouTube. So that was a team that Marietta had, a pretty good team. And the rumblings before the game were, she's the number one player in the country. Like, it's like, she's the number. It was like watching like Jordan play or something like that, or like Wilt, you know what I mean? Because back then, like high school games and stuff, they just weren't seen that often. And Maya played on national TV, and of course, the state championships are always on local TV, like GPB, which is PBS for our state in Georgia. You know, but for the most part, it's nowhere near what it is now. You know how you can just, oh, I want to see how Sarah Strong plays. You can look up Sarah Strong highlights on YouTube and watch them anytime. It was nowhere near that. So you're going off of what newspapers are saying and the little 30-second segments in the news where they show like a couple of highlights where they might do an in and out and then a layup, and then they'll show the final score, and then a pan to the crowd and the student section and go to the next high school game, because there's a billion every single Friday night. So it was just different back then. It was like really heavy word of the mouth type stuff. So before the game, before the players even come out for like warm-ups and stuff, to Sweet 16, it's like, they're like, yeah, she's like the number one player in the country. She's going to UConn. And, you know, like, I know UConn back then. I'm like, yo, like, UConn, it's crazy. Oh, man, it's crazy. It's like, yeah, she going to UConn. And I heard she can dunk, too, and this and that. So I'm looking at the student section. Collins Hill's got a student section. Kids got hard hats on, everything. Signs and drill, little mining thing. I've never seen this type of support for a girls basketball team. And I say girls because it's high school. I never seen this type of support for a girls basketball team ever. Like a student section and the kids dressing up and stuff. I've always seen that at boys and stuff like that, but I never seen that with a girls game. So that was the first time I seen it. It's probably like 2005, 2006. Like I said, I'm in 6th grade. So it's probably 2006, spring 2006. So, you know, they come out on the floor for warm-ups. Collinsville High School versus Marietta. And I want to say that Maya was the first one, like, in line, because you know how high schools, they kind of lined up in their little warm-ups, like the little warm-up T-shirts and then their basketball shorts under and their uniforms under. And so I think she's leading and she's dribbling the ball out, and she's the tallest player on the team. She's the tallest player on the court. And, like, I mean, Angel's probably taller, but it felt like at the time that she was taller than her. Let me look this up right now. I got the internet right here in front of my face. Maya Moore height. And then, so they got Maya Moore listed at 6 foot. And that is a solid, legitimate 6 foot. Angel Robinson is definitely taller than 6 feet. So Angel Robinson was the tallest. Yeah. Angel was 6'6". So Angel was the tallest player on the floor. But it felt like Maya was, like, because Maya, what, you know, the same stuff that like Wemby's doing, I ain't even gonna lie to you. It wasn't like Wemby, because Wemby's like freakishly long. I've never seen anything like Wemby. Like, he's not Chet. Like, I thought he was Chet coming in. I was like, oh, that's just Chet. He's not like Chet. He's something I've never seen before on a basketball court, man or woman. But what I seen from Maya at that time, 06, bro, she was like, it looked like she was the tallest player on the court. She would block the shot, get the rebound, bring the ball up, go behind the back or something like that, you know, to evade a defender on the way, and then just like a finger roll, just like the prettiest finger roll. But like her elevation, she can get like to the rim, like, so it looked like she could have dunked it if she wanted, but it was just a finger roll, just like graceful. She run back on defense, you know, like this, chubby cheeks, everything like that. They going crazy. Them jokers blew out Marietta, boy. They ended that season in a bad way. Marietta went out sad. She went on to win the national, the state championship and then the national Gatorade National Championship after that. Then played in All-American games. From this point on, I'm watching like, I know her. I seen her play. So all my years of covering high school basketball, like I said, I covered the Madison Bookers. I'm trying to think of some other players that I covered. I can't think of. I covered this one player. Her name's Layla Lancaster. I believe she's going to Auburn next year, I want to say. She was like 6'7" in the 8th grade, bro. But yeah, I've covered players like her before. I've covered a few players in high school, and I've covered even more players. And where's she going? Where's she signed to? Because I don't know if she actually signed with Auburn. She received an offer from Auburn, another one from Michigan State, but it looked like she went to Bethune-Cookman? Yeah, she went to Bethune. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, anyways, I'm sorry, y'all. I got all sidetracked and stuff. But yes, I've covered a lot of like just very talented basketball players in my career, and I've watched a lot of basketball in my life, live basketball and stuff like that. And I'll still say the best high school athlete I've seen is Maya Moore, bro. Up there is Kenyon Drake, but Maya Moore is number one. She's the best high school basketball player I've ever seen before, bro. And like in person, in my own eyes, there was a girl, Flea Greer, over in Lafayette, Alabama. One time she had a performance of 51 points and 21 rebounds. And I told her, I was like, you're the best high school player I've seen since Maya Moore. And then I seen Madison Booker, and I was like, Maddie Booker might be even better than that. But, sorry, getting sidetracked now, side tangent. I say all that to say, I've been on Maya Moore since 06, bro. I've been on Maya Moore since 06. She is a legend in Georgia. I believe she receives her flowers in Georgia. And I'm glad that she went to a city that can really appreciate women's basketball the way that they do. And it's a large part thanks to her and the culture she brought over. As soon as she wins at UConn, whatever goes number one, right? She wins a championship, rookie season over there in Minnesota. Building a dynasty, 4 WNBA championships, a couple overseas titles, a couple of NCAA titles. Doing that all and walking away from the game at the age of 29 is legendary. Legendary stuff, bro. Legendary stuff is something that cannot be repeated. I don't think it will be repeated. And in doing it by the age of 29, it's more impressive in the W, because in the W, a lot of times those kids are staying all 4 years in school. So it's like, so they're coming into the league at age 22, age 21 at the earliest, 23 at the oldest. You know what I mean? So to do what she did in that span, you think if she went at 21 or 22 and she did that in an 8-year span, the first 8 years of her career, and that was it, that's a heck of a run, bro. And it's legendary. It's like, it adds that legend and mystique like to it of like, dang, what would have been if she would have, fill in the blank. And the thing that's crazy about it is she's so mysterious that like in private, we didn't hear from her when she left. Like she just popped back up. Oh, she married the dude that she freed from prison. And it was like, oh, that's different. That's weird. And then she came out with a book about it and then a documentary about it. And I was like, okay, all right, cool, salute. Heard nothing from her again. I think she like popped out, did interviews to promote the book, and that was it. I don't even know if y'all knew this. Some of y'all do if y'all watch my videos, because most of the video be 30 minutes in. So if you heard this from 30 minutes in from a year ago, Maya was actually supposed to do an interview with me last year to promote the book. And she backed out of it. All she really did was like Good Morning America and ESPN. She just did the Disney companies for real. And then that was it. She went back to hiding. We didn't hear from Maya Moore again. So yeah, and she doesn't do social media. She's not on social media. She's not. So I say all this to say, like, Caitlin Clark, to bring out Maya Moore, like I think Tyler said it on X. He said that might have been her greatest accomplishment to date, and I agree, because she don't leave the house. Maya Moore does not leave the house. But what did I say? Oh, she showed up for Sylvia Fausting last year to to salute Sylvia Fowles, her jersey retirement. I believe she showed up for that. But yeah, she don't leave the house. In short, I say all this to say, Travis Scott should know who Maya Moore is, but this is why he doesn't, and this ties in with what's also going on too, with what a lot of you guys are saying. My back is hurt. I think I drank too much water. Anyways, I'm gonna try to push through it. Pushing through the pain. Flu game, Milligan. Oh my gosh, pushing through the pain. Okay, all right. So here we go. Are you ready? We're ready. Okay, we're good. I've worked now in the sports media industry for 10 years. I've worked in sports media now for a decade, and I've worked in the entertainment industry for the past 2.5 years for the most part. So in working in these industries and working for a smaller business, a black-owned business and stuff like that in Atlanta, shout out to Rolling Out, and seeing the way that the CEOs, the COO, the executive level kind of sweet people, move and conduct business, I've learned so much more about business and the curtain behind, kind of the things behind the curtain. And these were things that I just never realized growing up, because it's kind of like a smoke and mirrors thing that you can't see it. So like, A, everything is strategic for the bottom line. And then B, even more specific into that, it's all advertising. Like everything is advertising. Country Wayne went on Club Shay Shay a couple months ago, and he said, I realized that I'm not in the business of content creation. I'm in the business of advertising. The way that I get paid on YouTube is through you guys watching the ads that pop up alongside my videos. And then once I'm larger and stuff like that, and more popular, and the viewership is more wide and stuff like that, then you'll start seeing me, hey, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Like you've seen those things on other people's channels. And that just means I'll just be getting more money from outside people and stuff like that during my content. And the content is just the real people in to, I guess, listen and see the advertisements. That's the business. That's how people get paid. So, for those of you who don't know, who didn't connect the dots. Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. But before I just say it, I have to say the entertainment thing, because I brought up the entertainment stuff. So, what I learned about award shows, and I never understood this, of like BET Awards specifically, because, that's kind of like real right down my lane. I would see a lot of times they put out the nominations. We'll say male rapper of the year, just to be very vague. And the nominees will always be Drake, Cole, Kendrick, Travis Scott. It doesn't matter how good of an album Killer Mike dropped, how good of an album Earl Sweatshirt dropped. If we think Earl, Vince Staples, Griselda guys, who else are some people? All the people that be rapping with Alchemist on them Alchemist beats and stuff like that, the Nas's and all of them, they're never going to be nominated for a BET award for Rapper of the Year. And I never understood this, because it's like BET knows these people. Like, they've done interviews on a lot of these people, the Mikes of the world and stuff like that. They're very lyrical, like just lyrical geniuses and stuff, keeping the real hip hop, quote unquote, alive. And I always wondered, like, how could you do an interview and cover these people, but you can't nominate them for the awards that they deserve? And it made sense to me. It just clicked one day. All the people on the red carpets of these award shows, they're only on the red carpet because they're either nominated, they're being honored, they're presenting an award, or they're performing at the award show. That's literally everybody that's on the carpet. And I didn't realize that until the last couple of years working on the carpets up close and personal. I used to just think that like people would get invited and show up to the award shows just because they were famous. That's not the case. Everybody who shows up to the award shows and stuff like that, who are invited to the award shows, are invited because they've been nominated, they're being honored, or they're performing, or they're presenting at an award show. Perfect example, a couple weeks ago, I was in Vegas for the Super Bowl. I see Issa Rae on the carpet. Threw me completely off guard. I froze up. Got like starstruck. I couldn't even record on my phone of her walking down and send it to the social media guy. I was just like, hey, Issa. She's like, hey. Boy, that made my 2024. I'll tell you that right now. But, yeah, I say all that to say, I'm like, what is Issa Rae doing at the NFL Honors? Issa Rae wasn't there just because she's a celebrity and they wanted to have Hollywood's hottest faces there. She was there because she was presenting an award. That's why she was here. So it's just like, once I realized that, I'm like, okay. Tying this back to Travis Scott not knowing who Maya Moore is and dapping up Jake from State Farm instead. Travis Scott is there because Caitlin Clark is a Nike athlete. Travis Scott, for those of you who don't know, people who might not be into hip-hop or sneakerhead culture or anything like that, Travis Scott is a Nike person. He signed to Nike. He's got one of the more popular kind of Nike style shoes and everything like that. His Nike shoes extremely popular and stuff like that. It's kind of like Forces, but styled his way, where like sometimes the checks are like flipped the other way and they're like a specific type color. Yeah, that's Travis Scott. Signed to same shoe brand Caitlin Clark is. When I covered Brittany Griner's first game back in the WNBA in LA, I saw a bunch of like just famous female athletes. Anyone from Billie Jean King to Allison Felix, and then the fencer, the American fencer who's a Muslim who fences with the hijab on her head and stuff like that, Miss Muhammad. So I interviewed Miss Muhammad, down there, right? Just like kind of walking. I said, can I interview you, ask you a couple questions? So I'm like, why are you here? She's like, I'm just supporting fellow Nike athlete. When you see these things, you learn more and more when you talk to people. And I know for some people, y'all might be like, duh, like y'all might have known this from the jump. Y'all might have business degrees and stuff like that. I was a journalism, major. So like, this is all stuff that I'm learning like years into like my early adulthood type of stuff. And so I'm just now learning this, and I'm just now seeing this beyond the smoke and mirrors. What's going on? That's why Travis Scott was there. Nike sent them. Nike told Travis Scott to go. They tried to see their biggest people that they could get to go to the Caitlin Clark's game of breaking or going past Pistol Pete in the all-time scoring list. And that's what happened. That's what it was. So that was that. And that leads me to the next point of this entire thing of people thinking that Caitlin Clark's going to take a pay cut from going to the WNBA. And I said this with the Angel Reese thing, because someone was like, she should stay at LSU. She'll make way more money. If Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark get drafted, right, this year, if they make $1 from a WNBA team, they would have made more money than they made in college. If they make $1, they would have made, they can't get $1 legally directly from the University of Iowa and directly from Louisiana State University. The only thing you get is some little couple $100 stipends. I know football players get that. I don't even know if women's basketball players get that. But you get little stipends, little monthly stipends for $200. That's all you get. You know what I mean? So any type of money they get is going to be a raise. Like, that's just basic sense, common sense. But I don't know where people are getting this thing that it's not. We're going to pull this up right now from the Sporting News. Caitlin Clark has 11 known NIL deals with a worth estimate of $3.1 billion. She's with, hold on. She will likely maintain many of her deals. Why would she lose her deals when she goes to the league? Anyways, she's with Nike, as we said. She's with Gatorade. Why was Jake from State Farm there? She signed to State Farm. Buick. State Farm. Who else? Bose Headphones. Shoot Away. Hy-Vee. H&R Block. Topps. Goldman Sachs. The Vinyl Studio. All of these things are just some of the things that Caitlin Clark is signed to, man. So she's still going to continue to be signed to these things. Plus the whole new WNBA money. How is she going to make less money? That don't even make sense, man. So we got Haley Jones herself saying this. in a recent interview. It wasn't an interview. Sorry, y'all. I share my whole thing. Oh, Lord, my back. All right, we good. Hold on, I got to adjust myself. I tried to take a nap on the couch earlier. It done came back to bite me. But anyways, here we go with this one. So this was a recent press conference or a recent discussion with the AU athletes. Shout out to AU. Shout out to Athletes Unlimited. Shout out Sid Colson. Shout out to Lexi Brown. Shout out to the legend Angel McCoughtry, Queen of Atlanta basketball. Anyway, shout out Megan Perry as well. This is Haley Jones talking about NIL.
So you did not lose money coming.
No, ma'am.
All right, I just want to understand in plain language. You
Spread
did not.
the gospel. Spread the gospel, please.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's people. I don't really know where that came from, but like when coming from the NIL space,
it came from men.
you're right. Sid's completely right. Very rarely is it like a one post situation or like a 1 month thing. Like you're being endorsed by a brand for a long term contract. So like everything I did in NIL, I still have the majority of those contracts with me now. And then I take on my WNBA base salary, and then being in the Atlanta market, then you start getting more endorsements. Now you're working to be one of the faces of the league with this team marketing agreement, league marketing agreement, whatever it is. There's a lot of opportunities to add on what you already have.
So there it is right there. I don't know where this thing of like you go broke when you go to the W versus being in college. It's literally a whole nother paycheck. And for someone like Angel Reese, for someone like a Caitlin Clark, they're not going to lose much of their popularity in the WNBA. And I know some people are saying about other people and stuff like that. I know Stewie won an award a few years ago with the ESPYs and said, I used to get so much attention and so much media attention. Reporters at my practices at UConn on a daily basis. Now I rarely get that in the W. It's different with Caitlin and Angel. This type of popularity we haven't seen before, probably like in the sport period, just on a basic of like support across the board, and not just in that market, not just in stores, not just on in kind of like the national Final Four and national championship level, but on a regular season basis, like women's basketball, specifically Caitlin and Angel, the attention they're getting is like on a consistent basis is just like higher than it's ever been with a women's basketball player before. So it's like, it wasn't like this with Skylar Diggins-Smith. It wasn't like this with Candace Parker, and it wasn't like this with any of the UConn superstars. So this is something new, this level of popularity. And so I say with that, to think that all of that is going to drop off just because you went to the WNBA is respectfully foolish. That's it. That's all I got. My back is killing me, y'all. This is the World of 5K Subs. If y'all new to the channel, my name is Rashad Milligan, man. Hey, read. Make sure you read. Until next time, please take care of yourselves.